Good afternoon. Thank you all for joining us today. I'm pleased to be joined by Elyse Lowe, who is our Director of Development Services for the City of San Diego. Tuesday Lucan, who is Vice President of Operation for the Associated Builders and Contractors of San Diego. Doug Hicks, who is the Special Representative of Southwest Regional Council of Carpenters. Thank you all for being here. We'll talk a little bit about construction. But before I do, I first want to start off talking about finances and a safe reopening. Today, the governor released the May revision to the state budget. Next week, I will release my budget for the city of San Diego, the May revise. COVID-19 has had devastating effects for budgets across the country, prompting cuts, obviously, in a lot of our critical public services. But the long-term way to balance our budgets again is to let people safely return to work, safely earn a paycheck, safely reopen their small businesses, safely get the economy and our tax revenue rolling again, safely start living and thriving in this new normal that is affecting all of us. As you know, on Monday, Supervisor Cox and I sent a letter to the governor urging realistic local control to open our San Diego economy safely. Today, Supervisor Cox talked about the steps that the county is taking regarding an accelerated and safe reopening. It's an approach that I fully support. The Board of Supervisors will be discussing this next week in further detail. And the reason that we are having this conversation united as one region and one county is because we are seeing clear progress on curbing the spread of the virus. And it's time to show San Diegans the light at the end of the tunnel. We are ready to take the next steps to safely reopen more sectors of our economy. And we need clear direction, clear rules of the road, not more confusion. Under the current restrictions, it could be a very long time until many parts of our economy are allowed to reopen. In fact, they're so strict that 95% of Californians live in counties that can't meet those standards, according to the Los Angeles Times. San Diego County has a safe plan for reopening that protects employees and protects workers. And it's not a plan for business to return to normal. It's a plan on how businesses can open and operate in this new normal with physical distancing, sanitation, limited occupancy, all the steps that we've all been working on over these last several weeks. It's a chance to begin our recovery phase. San Diegans are ready to go back to work safely. So I'd like to reiterate from both County Supervisor Cox and myself, we are urging the governor to provide counties this local control to safely reopen, particularly counties like San Diego, where we have continued to make meaningful and sustained progress on COVID-19. It's because of the seriousness that everyone has taken this. San Diegans are doing the right thing. You're adhering to the guidelines, and we want to be able to open our economy safely. Today I'd like to provide a couple of updates. First, an update to public access to our lakes and reservoirs ahead of the weekend. Second, promoting the innovative work our Development Services Department is doing to keep construction in San Diego going. You talk about our economy, what construction means, and we're going to hear from some folks who are right in the thick of that. Lastly, of course, I'll highlight the work that San Diegans are continuing to do to step up. But the first topic, opening our lakes and reservoirs and parking capacity. We have reopened neighborhood parks. We have reopened our beaches. And San Diegans continue to stay classy and doing the right thing. Thank you. You have worked with our public safety professionals to follow the rules. You've been patient. You have been cooperative. Now we're ready for some additional next steps this weekend. I know people want to get outside, stretch their legs, enjoy the beautiful outdoors that we have in San Diego. As I mentioned, people have been doing a terrific job on our beaches. So as we continue to reopen safely and responsibly, I have the great pleasure to announce a few changes at our lakes and reservoirs to help give us more public access. Announcing the following reopenings effective tomorrow, Friday, May 15th. Lake Murray Reservoir and Lake Miramar Reservoir. Open for public access, including walking, jogging, bike riding, fishing, and boating. The following will be opening on Saturday, May 16th. That will be the Lower Otay Lake Reservoir. That will be open for public access, including walking, jogging, biking, fishing, and boating as well. Per the county rules, parking lots at these 3 facilities will be open at 50% capacity. Bathrooms will be cleaned every 2 hours in accordance with county regulations. All CDC and county requirements, including facial coverings and physical distancing, will be monitored. Keep up the good work. El Capitan, Hodges, Upper Otay, and San Vicente reservoirs are currently being reevaluated, and they remain closed for the time being. But we'll have more on that next week. For more information on what is open and what is not, you can visit the website sandiego.gov/coronavirus. Next topic, the work of our Development Services Department. The virus, as we talked about, will have lasting impacts on our economy and our budget. But we've been really working to adapt to the new normal, and that means looking at opportunities to do things differently. Despite how our world has changed, construction continues strong across our region. This is in large part due to the work our Development Services Department has done to ensure essential service of construction continues to hum. Elyse Lowe, who you're going to meet in just a second, and her team had already begun digitizing a lot of the permitting work in order to accommodate growing demand. Once the COVID-19 crisis hit, they accelerated these efforts and now accept permits online for all new projects, Some of the permits that can now be done include building permits, discretionary permits, electrical permits, right-of-way permits, and traffic control permits. This move to fully embrace online permitting is needed now more than ever as our builders navigate the way through a global health pandemic. We still face a major statewide housing crisis. That's only going to get worse if construction slows down. So we're trying to make it easier to get these shovels in the ground. This change also keeps residents and employees safe during COVID-19 by eliminating the need to exchange thousands of paper documents in person. It's a great technology. It's a great innovative approach, and I'm proud that our city is really leading the state on a lot of these changes. For more information, again, how these permits and online you can utilize, please go to sandiego.gov/DSD. You can see on the screen. In addition to moving permitting online, DSD also added new safety regulations in order to keep workers safe at construction sites, including physical distancing, decontamination procedures, implementation of hand washing stations, and conducting symptoms checks of all workers. Again, these are provisions done to ensure that we are making sure that we are stopping the spread of the virus at a critical sector of our local economy. So now I'd like to invite up Elyse Lowe, who is the director of our Development Services Department, to say a few words. Elyse, I'm very proud of the work that you and your team have done, who have really met this occasion head on and are doing so safely. Elyse Lowe.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's an honor to be here today to celebrate the online advancements that development services have created in order to support our essential construction industry. I'd really like to commend our partners in the construction industry for following and quickly adopting those site safety protocols. Our inspectors have only seen a few minor cases of folks forgetting their mask, or maybe they didn't know about it, but we have not had to shut down one construction site. Everyone is following the rules, and we greatly appreciate it. It speaks well of the industry as a whole. Advancements in technology means we're implementing digital DSD. That online permit system that the mayor mentioned that's available for every permit is absolutely outstanding, and it's a historical achievement for development services and for this city. Since we launched it last Monday, 1,000 permits have been submitted. You can go online, track your permit status in OpenDSD. It's really exciting. And as the mayor said, you don't have to drive downtown anymore to deliver your paper plans. So definitely check it out on our website for more information. How do you interact with our staff? Well, you can do that with a teleconferencing appointment. You no longer have to drive downtown for that either. So it's a faster way to do business, and we're taking on this new normal, and we're going to keep it going because it's working. We're available to help all of our applicants with the technical assistance they might need from this transition from paper to online processing. You can view a video or even talk to a live person about how to do it. We're still going to accept paper plans at our downtown location during this transition because it was abrupt. We didn't give a lot of notice. We want to enable the industry to be able to get used to the system. But we do highly encourage the online permitting for faster processing. And next, we're going to be launching virtual inspections where an inspector can actually utilize technology and not go to a site, but someone at a site can use their phone. We've got about 25 different permit types where we're going to allow that to be done. So exciting changes for development services, and we really, really appreciate the cooperation of the construction industry and thank our employees for working so hard to be so safe to keep things going. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Like I said, real proud of the team with one goal. How do we keep construction moving for all of the different facets? And to that point, I'd like to invite up Tuesday Lucan, who's Vice President of Operations of the Associated Builders and Contractors of San Diego, to give her perspective from the builders and contractors' perspective. Tuesday?
Thank you, Mayor, for having us here today. The construction industry was identified as an essential industry sector, and so it has been critical for us to be laser focused to keep our job sites running to ensure public-private projects continue to move forward and our workers remain employed. To that end, it has also been critical to ensure our workers feel safe coming to their jobs every day. A coalition of construction industry experts in San Diego came together to develop a set of protocols for each job site, and we have all been working diligently to implement these rules. They include social distancing. We are using the appropriate social distancing signage, floor markers, and partitions where possible in both English and Spanish as visual communication to workers to always maintain the 6-foot distance rules. In addition, we have implemented COVID-19 trained competent supervisors and cleaners throughout our job sites to monitor and to ensure that all protocols are in place and are followed. Hand washing stations. The same competent persons are walking job sites and analyzing crew staff sizes to ensure the proper number of stations are always on hand. Restrooms. Again, we have competent persons on site to also ensure social distancing at the restrooms and to ensure that hand washing and restroom disinfection after use is always occurring. Job site entrance checkpoints. Job site entrances are to have at least one COVID-19 competent supervisor on hand to stop all traffic into the job site until they have been properly vetted by passing the CDC's COVID-19 symptoms and temperature screening using a no-contact forehead thermometer like this one. This screening also includes ensuring each person has their appropriate PPE, which includes face mask, gloves, glasses, vest, hard hat, in addition to any other job site appropriate PPE. For end of the day, job sites are now implementing the use of disinfectant fogging machines, which can easily disinfect job site restrooms, trucks, tools, materials, etc., quickly and thoroughly. The construction industry is proud to be playing such a critical role in keeping San Diego running. These protocols can serve as a model for other industries as they come back online and begin to open their doors. Thank you again, Mayor, for having us here today.
Thank you, Tuesday. You are indeed a model for so many other industries and sectors of how you've done it and how you've done it safely. Next up, and last up, I'd like to invite Doug Hicks, who's representing the Southwest Regional Council of Carpenters, to say a few words. And Doug, just proud of all the work that the Carpenters are continuing to do for our city and our region. So thank you for being here.
Thank you, Mayor Faulconer. For the Southwest Regional Council of Carpenters, safety and training have always been a critical component of what it means to be a union carpenter. In these trying times, signatory contractors and union members have altered their schedules on job sites, staggered their start times and their shifts to accommodate physical distancing requirements. Added personnel are dedicated to sanitizing facility, quality managers that are trained in specific COVID-19 detection and sanitation are roaming our sites daily, making sure that our workers are safe. Increased hygiene stations have become a commonplace throughout union job sites in San Diego. We have adapted our PPE to keep our workers safe and to go home safe to their families so they're not taking any dangers home to them as well. Before our workers enter sites, union carpenters are checked daily to make sure that they're fit for duty and safe to work with. Our members are taking advantage of a new offering from the Carpenters International Training Fund, online COVID-19 training and certification, staying up to date on the latest information, techniques, and materials to keep both themselves, their families, and their communities safe. The Carpenters Union is doing their part to stay essential in San Diego. From the in-house Kaiser Permanente carpenters on the front line of our healthcare facilities, keeping them functional and operating at optimum capacity, to the carpenters at Wilson Elementary School, working to give San Diego students a safe and shiny new school to return to, a premier facility so they can focus on their education when they return back to their schools. And projects like the Aperture Project, these will help fuel our economic recovery when San Diego fully reopens. Finally, the Southwest Regional Council of Carpenters has taken additional measures to make sure that no member is left behind. They've allowed early access to vacation funds to ease any economic burden that members may be feeling, distributed gift cards to local grocery stores so that members or families that may be struggling have their basic needs met, that they can go to work fully focused on the task at hand and not worried about putting food on the table. They've extended our health care benefits so that there is no union carpenter who has to worry about what happens if my child gets sick, what happens if my husband or wife falls ill. They will have their union health care coverage. And finally, our retirees. There are care packages being distributed almost daily now to take care of those who have paved the way for those in our industry. The Southwest Regional Council of Carpenters is committed to staying safe and to staying essential. Thank you.
Thank you, Doug, and thank you for everyone of the Carpenters, everyone in Associated Builders and Contractors, really representing the best of our construction industry and doing a heck of a job. Finally, today in our update, San Diegans stepping up. Immunotherapy Foundation is a nonprofit that is focused on eradicating cancer. Normally, they use their network to help fund cancer research with UC San Diego Health. But as we've all learned over the last couple months, people with underlying health conditions are especially vulnerable to this virus. And at the top of that list, of course, are cancer patients. The main focus for the folks at the Immunotherapy Foundation is cancer research. But they also understand that the men and women who care for those patients are vitally important. They wanted to step up for those healthcare workers who continue to put themselves at risk to provide care for cancer patients during COVID-19. Tomorrow, the foundation will complete its goal of donating 500 meals to caregiver in cancer wards at UC San Diego Health and several other local healthcare clinics. Thank you. Thank you to everybody, the Immunotherapy Foundation, and the many great organizations that continue to give back to these working on the front lines, our healthcare workers, to keep all of us safe. So if you see a San Diegan stepping up, share it with hashtag San Diego Steps Up. Thank you again, San Diegos. I will conclude today's briefing by saying thank you, all of the hard work in ensuring that we are not going to give up the gains that we've made. This weekend, of course, we're opening up reservoirs for the recreational use, the ones that I mentioned earlier. Let's continue to do the right thing and work to reopen our economy together in a safe and responsible way. San Diego, you are a great example for the rest of the state. Let's keep it up. And with that, I will pause to answer any questions from members of the media.
And the first question for today comes from Guillermo Mendez with Univision. Regarding the plan to obtain the state's authorization for an accelerated reopening of the local economy in San Diego, what will the accelerated reopening look like in the city of San Diego if approved by the governor? And what should residents expect to see?
Yeah, as I said before, a lot of great work being done at the county to have one regional plan. The Board of Supervisors will be discussing this on Tuesday, and really builds on the foundation of a lot of work that we've been doing together with our businesses, our small businesses. Safe, secure ways to reopen. We heard a lot about that today for the folks in our construction industry. And so working with our county public health officials into a plan that will allow more businesses for that accelerated reopening to do it safely with specific plans in place. So more information on that obviously in the coming days, but again, fully support that effort for us to move forward as one region, to have that flexibility as San Diego County because we've been doing such incredible work at flattening this curve, and we're going to continue to do that. With that, that is our last question. Again, I want to thank all of our guests here today. Thank you, San Diego, and I look forward to tomorrow's briefing. Thank you.